So traders, I've been doing some analysis on just all the markets, looking across the markets, just looking at different stocks, looking at the positions I'm in the markets right now. I'm in 5 different positions that I'm in right now in the markets. I've been looking at the crypto markets as well, and also just been looking at just a lot of markets. And I've noticed an interesting pattern that's formed over the last, say, 2 years in gold. You're looking at it right now when it comes to my RSI indicator, and we may be getting an early warning sign that this may be the start of another of a nice leg up in gold. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders, let's get straight into this here. Firstly, guys, if you'd like to, if you need help with your trading, maybe some understanding the foundations that goes into a good trader, or maybe the biggest mistakes you're making right now if you're losing money, or if you need to learn how to read chart reading strategies or trading systems, etc., etc. I've got a whole complete trading course that I used to sell for like, I don't know, $500 or something like that, and I'm just giving it away for free for a short period of time frame. Have done now for a little while, and I don't know when I'm going to close it down, but it's only going to be for a short time frame. But I'm just giving it away free. I'm giving away free access because I'm doing really well with my trading right now, and I'm really grateful for that. So I'm just giving away free access to that to help you out. If you go to johnsfreegift.com, or there should be a link around this page here. If you go to that page, you'll be able to register, and then you'll get instant access to the members area where you can start watching. I think it's like, I don't know, 8 videos long, plus some other bonus videos as well, about 10 hours long. You're gonna absolutely love it. Now, the thing that I mentioned to you at the start of this video is I started noticing, just been doing a bit of analysis on gold. Now, before I get into this here, all right, I'm going to get into this indicator down the bottom here, which is the RSI, by the way. I'm going to get into that. But I must say this, guys. Your first and foremost is this. I hardly ever use indicators, but indicators can just give me a bit of an insight of what's going on sometimes with a stock, all right? Just a bit of an insight. So I do use indicators sometimes, but first and foremost, my analysis comes from price action first, okay? In fact, probably 80%, maybe even 90% of the time, in fact, 90% of the time, I'm actually trading the markets, or probably even close to 100% of the time. I'd have to say 90%. 90% of the time when I'm actually trading the markets, I'm actually looking to get into a trade. One of my trading systems just uses the chart itself, and that's that's an incredible, powerful system. I actually teach that system in that free trading course, so you'll be able to see it. It's just based on the chart itself, and it works on. I made a lot of money on crypto last year, on the Ethereum boom, and so on and so forth. Anyway, you're gonna absolutely love that. But the purpose of me saying this is that most of my trades that I do is I'm just utilizing the charts and then maybe a moving average and volume. I hardly ever use indicators. I use indicators that sometimes give me a bit of a guide or a gauge on, okay, we could be getting ready for a nice move here. And so let's actually look at this in the past. I'm looking at a daily chart right now, and and down the bottom here is what we call an RSI, okay? And let's actually look at this here. So let's see, can I minimize that? There we go. And let's have a look at this here. It's because it's really interesting. Gold has been doing a repetitive pattern again and again, and we're actually possibly developing the same pattern again. That's telling us this one powerful indicator might be telling us we're getting ready for a nice leg up in gold. And so let's actually go back to here, back to the start of 2019, as we can see on this chart here, right? So we can see this here back to 2019. On the charts, and we can go back even further if you want, but the whole purpose of this here, guys, is this, all right? You can even see, let's actually use go back even to 2018. We can see this. Notice how on the RSI itself, now this is an RSI. Let me share with you the settings that I got here, guys. So I'm not, so the inputs are just a 14, and I've got the source of close, and then obviously same chart. And then I've got the style here, and I've actually made the style just a bit thicker when it comes to the line. So it's actually a thick line, as you can see, right? So that's all it is. But look at this back here. Sometimes the market will give us, the RSI will give us like a bit of a trend like it does with stocks. So you'll notice here, if I draw a trend line from here, notice how we actually, it's like a channel, right? It's like it started here, then it hit resistance, and it hit resistance, and it hit resistance, and then we paused, and then we broke through. So notice that there, all right? So notice this here, And then notice what happens afterwards. If I bring up a horizontal line here for a minute. Now, guys, as I'm doing this here, no way am I saying that gold's definitely going to go up, so buy right now. Just a bit of an insight that what this actually could be a bit of a powerful sign. So if I go to the vertical, when did it break? It actually broke there, as you can see, right? If I make that line, can I make that line thicker? So let's actually make that line thicker, and I'm going to make that into, say, just like a bit of a red line so you can see it properly. So as you can see, notice how that the market itself, that that there was the point of where the RSI actually broke above this major resistance coming down, and then we started to finally break above it. Makes sense? And then that was sort of the strength coming back in, and notice how that was actually the bottom before we went for a rise. Then look what happened. Then we went through a nice booming move, and then we went through a pullback. The RSI went up, and then we started going through a pullback. But what actually happened here? Let's actually go through this again. So, can I copy paste? No. So let's go through the trend line again. Look what happened here with the RSI. The market came down, and then if I draw a trend line from the RSI, look what happened here. Right, so I'm doing this point through here once again. Let me actually just open up the chart. We don't need that anymore. I'm going to open up the chart a bit more, like so. Look where it actually broke. So we had this down move here, which represents this move here. Okay, so we had this down move here. But notice how not only did when we break above this level here, let me actually go back to, can I copy and paste? Allow. Is it going to let me do that? There it is there. Okay. So this time here is where? This time is right there. Notice how the RSI, if I zoom right in a bit more now, notice how the RSI was actually a bit further, wasn't it? The RSI started to get back above it right there. So notice how we actually started to get back above what? This resistance line here on the RSI, and then we broke back above. Pretty powerful. Because remember, that's exactly what happened last time. Look at this here, resistance, 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 resistance. As soon as we broke back above it, that showed that the strength was actually changing and we went for a rise. Then we went for a nice pullback. Same thing, resistance, resistance, resistance all the way down. And as soon as we actually broke this resistance line here, and it's probably a bit high if I'm going to be exact. So is that there? Or even if you're looking at a conservative on the breakout, which was right there, you can see how the RSI up. And that was to say, okay, we're now starting to gain a bit of strength here. And then guess what happened? We went for a rise. Then look what happened. The exact same thing. We went for a rise and went through a pullback again. It's incredible. Look at this here. So we went through a pullback again, like here, like so. Just like we did here. Went for a run. So it's just straight up, pullback. It's almost identical, right? Straight up, pullback. And then, but look what happened with the RSI. This was the RSI. Look what was happening. We're doing what? And if I just draw this down, if I draw that from there to there, just so I can get most of the highs, like so. Look what happened here. Starter point, resistance, 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 resistance. Where did the RSI break above it? If I go from here to here, and I create a parallel trend line, we can see it was actually a bit further, wasn't it? But we can see it actually broke above. Not only did it actually break above this resistance line, but you notice with the RSI, we started flattening out and started breaking above it. And guess what happened then? We went for a nice move. And then we had a pullback again. And but remember, it's based on the pattern, right? Based on this overall sort of several months of coming down and then breaking up and going for a move. Several months on the RSI. Notice how we went through these gyrations here, but we didn't really get much. Then look what happened here. If I take this trend line off the screen here for a minute, look what happened here. Resistance, resistance, resistance all the way down. When did it break above it? So we had this sort of flattening out period, as you can see. So that was the flattening out period right there. But when did the RSI break above it? The RSI broke above it right here. So it was actually, if you're looking at something like that there, you can see how the RSI actually broke above it here. But then look what happened. We went for a nice move. But look what's happening now. We're in for resistance. We're in for a bit of resistance. And now we're at that same level now. So is this giving us a bit of a warning sign, a bit of an early warning sign that this may be the start of another move? Because we're developing. If I squeeze my charts up once again, you can see how this is basically the exact same pattern. This is number one over here. So you can see it happened here. Number one, number two, number three. That was the first time there, the second time there, the third time there. This happened the fourth time. And now this is the fifth time of just looking at what? The RSI. Now it's not as clean as the last few, meaning we haven't got a lot of bounces, so it's not as clean. But it's actually quite interesting. Leave a comment below, guys. Let me know what you think about this. And once again, if you do need help with your trading when it comes down to anything, then just grab that free trading course. And this is just something really, really interesting, guys. Doesn't mean it's going to go up, but man, it's actually just a quite interesting chart that, as I've been doing my analysis this Saturday afternoon, I've just noticed that. So I hope this helps you out today, guys. And I'll speak to you soon.